now is discuss how we can get even lower ppm. We've gone as low as 8 parts per million from our RO system. What can we do to really maximize our water quality and our possible production? And that's going to be to have 0 part per million water. If you reference your nutrients that you're using, it will say to use either low or 0 part per million water additive. So then I'm now going to take our very neat deionization add-on filter and unpack it. On the top of the box, we're going to notice we have our installation instructions, which I'm going to kind of go through step by step. We've got some packing material, which is going to keep it safe. We've got a black cap with a single bracket on it. We've got our clear canister with our deionization filter in there, wrapped in black plastic. The reason we wrap our DI filters in black plastic is to prevent any sort of air exposure or sunlight from coming in contact to the filter. And you'll see it's a sort of dark blue like media, has probably 1 in every 1,000 of these granules is a golden or amber colored granule. They're little spherical beads if you get really close to them, and this will actually change colors as it exhausts, which is somewhat helpful to us. I'm going to take this, and you'll notice it has an arrow this end up towards cap. So we're just going to drop that in with the arrow pointed up. Then just going to take the cap and just screw it on to the clear canister. And we want it to be tight on there. Hand tight will do the trick. And we're going to take our tubing that's provided with this, and we're going to actually connect our RO system into the DI chamber, and then we're going to connect our DI chamber into the storage resi. If I unscrew the nut on the end of the storage resi, I can actually just take out the tubing. You want to be sure not to lose these 2 little pieces. They are important to the compression process. So we're just going to lightly slide those off. The compression nut comes right off. I like to take these and put these right back in the compression nut so I don't lose them. I'm now going to take my product water from my reverse osmosis system and go to the in port on the clear canister, what is now our deionization add-on, or our DI add-on. I'm then going to take my 1/4 inch tubing that was provided with my DI add-on kit and unwrap it so that I can connect my DI filter to my storage container. Again, with the quick connect fittings, I'm just going to shove it in there. And then take my compression nut and reintroduce my 1/4 inch tube through my compression nut. I'm now going to take my product tube coming out of my DI chamber and actually hook it up to my storage reservoir, same as we've just done. This is where it becomes very important to use FDA approved polypropylene. The FDA approved polypropylene will allow you to store ultra pure water. This is not just RO water anymore where we have 95+% reduction of the TDS. We are now entering territory where we have 100% rejection of the TDS, and we actually can measure the resistivity of water. I'm now going to turn back on my RO system, and it'll take it a moment for the water to start to permeate the membranes. And then we're going to immediately start to go into our DI chamber. You're going to see that the water takes a minute or 2 to fill up the DI chamber, but as soon as the DI chamber is full, water will start to exit. I now have some what's referred to as RO DI water leaving my DI chamber and actually entering my 40-gallon resi. The reason I'm showing this is that our DI chamber has an air gap. What this means is that there's some air in the chamber and it doesn't have a chance to make water fast enough to push all the air out. What we can do to help this is we can simply unthread the chamber a little bit, and what's going to happen is all that pressure is going to actually escape through the top of the chamber. So now we're going to see our DI canister filling up with water, as opposed to the water just entering the chamber, wicking out through the top of the DI resin, and then leaving to our 40-gallon resi. It is important to note that whether or not the chamber is full of water will not affect the performance of the DI resin. The water physically has to pass through the DI resin in order to make it anywhere else onto your system. So therefore, if the chamber is full of water or not full of water, literally doesn't matter. We're good. But a lot of my customers do like to see them full of water, so we wait for it to fill up close to the rim, and then we close it back before we get any excessive water spilling out into our countertops. So now this is fastened closed, full of water, air gap eliminated, and the water is passing through our DI chamber into our 40-gallon storage resi. Again, it is very important to use FDA-approved polypropylene or better to store RODI water. RODI water is chemically aggressive and it will corrode or eat away at anything you put it in that's not FDA-approved. If you take a normal trash can, plastics, recycled plastics, and put RODI water in there, you can actually take your TDS meter and watch the 0 part per million water raise in value, start to climb up 20, 40 or more parts per million. You'll actually be making your water more dirty. The same is true with any copper or brass. You cannot pass this water through any copper or brass. The same would be true for RO water. Do not pass it through any copper, brass. Try to keep it all in the approved polypropylene tubing. I'm going to grab some DI water now, RO DI water, to show you the value of the TDS. And right out of the gate, we're going to see 0 parts per million. And that's all we're ever going to see from this filter is 0 parts per million, ultra pure water. We measure the water in resistivity. It measures 18 mega ohm resistivity. This is the absolute cleanest you can get water. This is something we've been doing at Crucial Elements for over a decade, so this is not new to us. We now have our RO with our post-DI system complete, and I've got my 40-gallon resi getting filled up so I can take it to my indoor garden down at my other suite. We're going to continue this video showing you our ebb and flow system that we're going to be using our RO and our RODI water on, and show you some of the differences that our garden experiences from using either tap water, RO water, or RODI water, so that you guys can really get a grasp of which is best for you. We also offer a complete line of commercial systems where we have our 1,000 gallon per day 1-to-1 wastewater ratio. We've got our Chief dechlorination units, and we've got our newly released Grow Tube, which also operates at a 1-to-1 wastewater ratio, 1,000 gallons per day at 100 psi. This is a complete reverse osmosis unit inside of a handy carrying dolly. Crucial Element also has the ever affordable Newt. This RO system is the bare necessities for what you need. It is a carbon filter in order to dechlorinate the water for the RO membrane to have low TDS water. If you have questions about your reverse osmosis system that you've purchased either from Crucial Elements or from another vendor, you can give us a call so that we can discuss your water chemistry. You can always find us at hydroponicswater.com, or we can be reached at 877-256-3467. My name is Peter, or any of my wonderful staff can help you. Thanks guys, and good growing.